Hello, D-Swank here, once again in the mod show-off world. And today we're actually just going to be taking a look at one mod. The assault weapons pack that we're using. I'm not going to go into a huge diatribe about it, because it is a fairly popular weapons mod. It's one that, and I just drew a blank on the other YouTuber that uses it, but he has a storyline PvP server that he runs with it. Give me a second. Alright, so the YouTuber is Get Rocked. The mod creator is Harbinger Ace, and it is for the Outlands server playthrough, whatever you want to call it. They have all sorts of rules for where you can use these guns and how many you can have on ships, and it's a really cool concept. Different than what our playgroup is doing, but I like the look of the mod. I like the look of the guns. They're a solid pack. They're going to continue to be updated because they are the primary weapons mod for the Outland server and what Get Brock's doing, and they work together. That's why we picked them. Also, we don't have a server, and it doesn't require weapons core. So, we're going to take a real quick look at the guns. Let me turn my antennae off. And let's get my welder out so I can make sure I know what the hell I'm looking at. But each row of these corresponds to a toolbar list. This is 1, that one's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So, this is 20mm point defense turret, and it looks cool. It's basically a short compressed Gatling gun, and you can see it's a single square. Same with this one. It's bigger. Bigger bullet. Bigger turret. Still looks cool. Autocannon. Twin autocannon. Fires fast. Has a pretty good range. I like it. It looks, sleek. Small and sleek. And then we have the storm cannon, which is basically it's another autocannon. I think it fires faster. But it looks slightly sci-fi. It looks like it belongs on a Zumwalt. Now over here we have the 80mm flak turret, which honestly this is my favorite. I like these. It reminds me of the Bofors from that other weapons pack. My mind's gone blank on its name. But, yeah. Now we have the 220mm missile battery. It's a turret combined with a rapid-fire missile. Basically, it's got the speed of the fixed missile launchers, but it's a turret. Yeah, speed, I should say, in how fast it dumps the rockets. And then 150mm dual turret. It's a light artillery. It's much more sci-fi feeling than most of these, except maybe this one, but this one's got enough mass in the center to where you could argue it's being loaded through the center. This, I don't feel like it could be loaded through the center along with everything else going on it. But, you know, it works. It's got similar aesthetic. Honestly, I think that's my least favorite of the weapons in this mod. Now, we go to the number 3 on the toolbar, which is the fixed large ship weapons, or most of them. They're one grid, and then long. There we go. This one is big torpedoes. This one is a missile pod, so fires bursts. I think it reloads faster. We got this giant piece of artillery here. 1,500 millimeter artillery lance. That just looks scary. 1,000 millimeter fixed artillery, so slightly smaller. And then the 400 millimeter fixed artillery. This one was a little hinky trying to mount because the only mounting locations that it has is the back and the sides. So, now we go over to number 4 on the list, toolbar. It starts with the 400 millimeter siege cannon. Single barrel. I like. That's like the standard secondary weaponry for ships that I would build. Now, I am a big fan of Casemate. And this, I just like. I like this one too, but I like this one more. This one's not bad, but this one's better. Both are 400 millimeter. And, I mean, you can see how they connect. This one I like because I can make it flush with things a lot easier than this one. Now, still in the 400 millimeter siege category, or 4, and I think it's going to be easier for me to show these off with spectator cam, so I will come back by. But we've got the Endbringer, we've got the Vanquisher, we've got the Demolisher, and the Assault Turret. All of them are 400 millimeter. So let me go to F8. So the Endbringer here reminds me of a Star Destroyer turbo laser battery. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, you need a big ship for this to look right on. Then we have the French battleship turret here. Then we have the American battleship turret. And then we have, well, American, Japanese. A lot of battleships ran with the triples, but also a lot ran with the double. And the double is small enough, and it doesn't look insane compared to, that. So, those are going to be pretty painful. Wrong one. F6, not keyboard 6. Alright, let's grab this. Next up, we have number 5 on the toolbar, which is a turreted 1,000 millimeter artillery lance. We have the dual railgun turret, which I like quite a bit. I like the aesthetic of this one. I'm not... Okay, it uses the small Sebo, so it probably is equivalent damage to the small grid, but 2 shots. And then we have this. A macro cannon. Back to F8. So this one feels kind of Mass Effect-y to me. I like it. It has a similar feel to the Storm...
Energy low.
Hush. This one. I like it. Then we have the railgun turret, and we have the macro cannon, which is basically Warhammer. Yeah. Okay, last of the large grid that it doesn't have isn't in a scroll area is the spotlight turret, which, you know, if you're looking for something a little more chunky than the vanilla spotlight, let's throw you down so we can get a comparison. I thought we had LIGA Searchlight. That's why I didn't. Okay. This one feels heavier. This one feels like something you would find in a theater. This one feels more like you would find on top of a tower searching for people crossing the border. I mean, they both work. I think the interiors of this one looks better, but Now, over here, let me get my welder back. We have small grid. We have 20mm fixed autocannon, flat cannon, fixed autocannon, 30mm autocannon, the coaxial. You can't, it's hard to see because the barrel, yeah, it pops up every once in a while when I hit it. There it goes, and there it goes. And then we also have that, which looks pretty sweet as well. Now, this is the only weapons mod that we have on the server at the moment. We do have the mod that allows the AI that spawns in to potentially have these guns. You've probably already seen it on a couple of things in the first session that we recorded. You probably saw some of these mounted. But we haven't actually used them yet. But they're solid. I like them. I like their aesthetic. And the fact that they're not going anywhere. And they'll be updated. So, with that, I hope you've enjoyed this. And I will see you next week for a few more mods. Until then, bye-bye. Run around. Oh, God, I still think that's beautiful.